Hello, Fantasy Goats. Happy Monday. No struggles Monday. It is your shepherd here. I'm joined by the one and only Commissioner Caplock's Rhino, and of course, JX Fantasy Warrior. Guys, we're gonna get into a brand new 2025 Dynasty rookie mock draft. It's a super flex. It's a tight end premium. Many Dynasty rookie drafts are still in progress. Dynasty startups still in progress, and we're here to deliver the best and only fire analysis for the goats. I don't know, but it's definitely not the only, but amongst many. We'll get into this mock draft in a little bit. We'll tackle some news and notes for the league, what took place over the weekend. Nothing crazy. Of course, OTAs is in full swing. Mandatory for rookies. Voluntary for veterans. Those provide us with some information. Nothing crazy. Nothing that we should really take a hold of, except for when we hear it out of the coach's mouth. That's when we want to pay attention a little bit. We got some other news, that took place literally within the last 24 hours. Guys, Bryce Huff was traded from the Eagles to the Niners, reunited with Robert Saleh. Nice little defensive end depth, I would say, for the team.
Yeah.
Some good depth for the team. Clearly, it didn't work out for. I mean, not the Eagles just happened to have whiffed on this one. It's not the end of the world. The Eagles are still going to be the Eagles. More importantly, though, Bryce Huff was drafted by Robert Saleh, who's now the defensive coordinator over in San Fran. So I mean, that's where you get the connection. Also today, which is I would say probably a little bit more significant, JX, for the fantasy folks and us, is Frank Ragnow. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. The center. Ragnow. Yeah.
Better than I would have probably.
What's Ragnow? Is that like a Marvel show?
I would have butchered it somehow.
Yeah. Retiring the center for the offensive line of the Detroit Motor City Kitties, Pound Grit Lions. Now, I would say that's going to be a little bit more significant because I'm almost confident, fairly, that they have another center on the roster now.
They have to.
All right, is he as experienced as this dude that's retiring after 9 seasons? I don't know. I have no idea who it is, actually. So I'm sure there's someone else on the line, or you move somebody from a guard or a tackle over to center now. But I mean, the center is that's
tough. I mean,
that's
Frank Ragnow. He's just not part of the Detroit Lions offensive line, but he's the best center in the NFL.
Yeah.
You lose the best center in the NFL, you're gonna feel the effects, especially for somebody like Goff, who relies on all that communication and to protect him. I think this is really going to be rough for them. Now they did draft guard center from Georgia pretty high in the second round, Tate Redledge. So they're maybe looking at him to fill in that spot. But also, I mean, on the opposite side of him, they have to replace a guard too, because they lost Kevin Zeitler in free agency. So they're looking to 2 young guys in the middle, with Graham Glass now, who's over on the other side. But I mean, that they're almost in a mini rebuild on the inside of their offensive line. So they could struggle in the beginning of the season before they actually can feel their way out of it in the end.
Yeah, I think they probably go heavy run game to start the season.
I was watching a little bit of CBS HQ. They went through the NFC North, NFC South record predictions I'm not sure when it was recorded. Nevertheless, the entire division, they've got totally regressed. I mean, not one team, with the exception of the Bears, who have them winning a little bit more, a couple of games more, and I don't have the exact number. I don't have the exact records. I'm not Rain Man, but yes, the Lions, from their win total last season, down considerably. Another 9-8 team in the Vikings, or I'm sorry, the Packers, 9-8. I think they have the Vikings. One of them has the Vikings at 7-10. So, I mean, they now again, it's not like they don't have a crystal ball in front of them. Obviously, the games still need to be played, but we've said on a few occasions. I mean, I expect the Lions to regress. I'm not sure about the entire division as a whole, but I expect them to regress just by losing their two coordinators. That's gonna be tough. Now,
Yeah.
how much do they regress? I don't know. I don't expect them to win 14 games again. 15 games. What do they win? 14 or 15?
Oh, I want to say, right. It was one of the two, 14
They
or
won
15.
15.
It was definitely one of the two. Yeah, no, I don't. I didn't think they were winning that even before this news today. All right. There's some Sean Payton news talking about Audric Estime. Why am I bringing that up? Because we're about to draft R.J. Harvey. That's right, folks. There's reporters that are asking him the questions. These guys know what they're doing. They know they want to find out scoops, information about all pertinent players. Now they're asking about last year's rookie draft pick in Audric Estime. You think that this man is just going to sit on the sideline all season? No, he's not. Does that mean that we should be dropping R.J. Harvey all the way down? No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm not implying that. It's something that we need to consider and take into account when it comes to a rookie running back.
I'm not buying it.
You're not buying the Audric Estime coach speak?
I'm not buying it. He had his chance. He had his chance last year, and he couldn't.
He dropped the
couldn't
ball.
pull his weight. Yeah, so you're telling me that Audric Estime couldn't outcarry Jaleel McLaughlin and Javonte Williams, who was literally plottering for 3.3 yards per carry, but now he's going to just be taking these carries from R.J. Harvey, super explosive running back? I don't think so. You can give me all the coach speak you want. The film.
No, I will. I mean, I don't have to give you the coach speak. You see the coach speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I would implore all of the goats that are watching this, and the Commissioner Rhino has a fantastic short that's up on the channel right now. By the way, please subscribe to the Fantasy Goats. We've got content coming all off season, right into kickoff and beyond, all the way through. But yeah, he's got a fantastic short regarding this is smoke and hype and mirrors and this and that season. Be careful, or be cognizant. I think it's the right word.
Do your due diligence.
Be cognizant of what you're actually looking at on social media and the internet in general. Go to sites that are verified, trusted, information that's coming directly from the source. Clips. If you want, I mean, you're going to see dozens upon several, multiple clips from that are showcasing and highlighting players that look fantastic. They do. They look
fantastic.
They look great. Yeah, or pointing out the negatives of a player. That's correct. All that you got to take with a grain of salt. And it's easy to get consumed by it. Also, it really is, but that's not necessarily what I use to really take in full analysis, full takes on players' outlooks and teams' outlooks and teams' projections and players' projections. I can't rely on clip. I can rely on, to some degree, what a head coach is saying. I'll rely on that a hell of a lot more. Yeah. Audric Estime, I not that I don't want to push back too much on it though. I think Audric Estime will have a role in this offense that is to be determined. I do. I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see him on the field. I wouldn't expect to see this kid RJ Harvey playing full snaps.
No.
No, nah. 70%.
Big disservice to him.
We'll see. We'll see.
70%.
We'll see. He's got to learn to be a professional running back. He's got to learn that. He's got to be able to work in that passing game. He's got to be able to learn how to protect. There's a lot of stuff that he's got to learn. I'm not saying he can't. Definitely not doing that. I'm not suggesting that he can't. And I like him too. I like him. I like where he's being drafted too. It's a high upside. It's a good. Let's swing for the fences here. This could be a really good value in terms of where we're drafting RJ Harvey. Speaking of drafts, let's go. Let's get into this sucker.
All right.
Let's get into this.
I'm in position 1 here. I'm gonna do a little something different than what we've been doing. This is on the thought of what if the person that's drafting, let's say, like, look at this is my team, and I had Rodgers, Cousins, and Baker Mayfield as my quarterbacks last year. So if that's the case, I'm going to draft Cam Ward.
And so is the auto. Well, we still haven't figured out how to get this thing situated. I'm not going to restart it either.
So that's
All right, so let's stop right there.
All right.
We're just going to stop. Cam Ward, you're taking because you said that. Go ahead. I apologize.
Let's say you had Rodgers, Cousins, and Baker Mayfield.
Rodgers, Cousins, Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Yeah,
so now you have 2 quarterbacks that essentially aren't playing anymore. So you don't need a quarterback, especially in a super flex. So I'll draft Cam Ward. And that's the thought that I have 2 legit running backs and some legit wide receivers too. So I'm feeling the need right here.
Now this is an interesting position, right? Because I think there's going to be some teams that do have this position where, like, they have those aging quarterbacks, and they have that high draft capital, like we're watching here.
Right.
So we're weighing what is the best move. Do I just take the quarterback now, or do I take the best player available and leverage it for a better quarterback?
Well, there's that too. Yeah. Exactly.
If you have the 101 and take Ashton Jeanty, or if you decide to trade the 101, the list of quarterbacks that you could choose from is immense. You could see yourself getting a quarterback and an additional pick for next year, or an additional pick this year. So with the 101 and the situation that you're talking about, I think
you're in control. You're in control.
The sky can be the limit.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. I do.
It's just a different way of looking at it. We've been going about the same way for the last 3 mock drafts. But Jeanty is the right pick. But there might be somebody out there like that has that kind of situation. That maybe wasn't getting the right trade offers for it. Or didn't like the trade offers for it. Or
wasn't getting the right trade offers. Yeah, look, that is certainly a part of it, and I would never suggest to anybody to just make the deal because, talk about interest. Talk about interesting clips. There was one that was showing like the Carolina Panthers war room when they were on the clock and they were talking to the Rams, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And the Rams weren't buying. They were not buying.
They're asking a lot, and then they're like, nope. And they did that to a couple of teams I read too, that they asked for a lot, knowing they wanted to pick TEP.
I'll tell you what, on the draft show, if we had traded up to number 8 and picked TEP, I might have rocketed through the ceiling of my house. Yeah, y'all saw me hop through the ceiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that clip too. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I thought I heard that the Rams were interested in TEP, but to actually see that, it was like, wow, they're really kind of serious about that.
But you know what else the clip tells me? Any player is really, for lack of a better word, expendable. You know, like for the right price tag, for the right value, and the players are really just, again, they're looked at as, you know, assets and liabilities. So it tells me that A. And B, Dan Morgan wasn't the one that was negotiating. It was somebody, I don't even know who that was on the phone, but it wasn't Dan Morgan.
It wasn't the owner either. That's for sure.
No, definitely wasn't the owner. It wasn't Dan Morgan. It wasn't Dave Canales. So I don't know who that was, but it tells B, Dan Morgan doesn't negotiate. Well, maybe someone else is a better negotiator. That's all right.
It's good, and that's good. That's a good front office has to be like that too, because he's still relatively new in that position. You know.
So just pointing out these little things. These are the things that I pick up on. Aside from how Audrey Gastonay has to get more conviction when he's running the ball. All right, so Ashton Jeanty did go to. I mean, in most instances, he's the clear-cut number one running back. Marion Hampton is the second running back off the board in most cases. You know, for Dynasty, we do expect him to take over this backfield for the Chargers. Najee's not going to go away right away. I don't think that. I do think Marion Hampton will eventually take over in terms of usage, in terms of production, in terms of snaps, all of it. When will he do that? It all depends. And what role will he have right off the bat? How quickly can he get onto the field? How quickly can he get acclimated? He's very talented. Jim likes him. There's not much else to go off of until we see him, on Sunday. After that, it's Travis Hunter, ladies and gentlemen. The Unicorn JX. Travis Hunter, 4th overall. Again, this is somebody that looks as though he's learning to be a professional. The nuances of being a pro.
Right.
Wide receiver. Keep in mind. I think teams are. I think they're taking that to the bank right now. I think they're taking that information and running with it.
There's him playing DB too, and he was pretty solid.
I think the rise.
No pads, but he looked good.
Like I'm just looking at the rise of Travis Hunter, since draft week and till now. I mean, before it was kind of confirmed, or even before there was OTA clips and rookie OTA clips, he was being picked at the end of the first round.
Yeah,
maybe even early of the second round, and now he's kind of stamped at this 4 position. Depending on when these guys. We'll pause it, but depending on when whoever drafts, whether it be a month from now or however it may be, I think Travis could end up potentially being number 2, just because people are getting more comfortable with him, seeing him being a wide receiver out there, and they're not scared of him only playing DB.
Yeah, I agree. He looked good. Watching some of the drills he was doing. He looked pretty quick doing the cone drills. He's beating Brian Thomas Jr.
He's fast as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's quick. He's fast. I mean,
he didn't run the 40, did he? Did he run the 40 in his pro day?
Nah, he doesn't need to.
So we don't know how fast he is.
Eyes will tell you he's pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, I've watched enough Colorado college games last 2 years that he's fast. He got some get up and go.
Well, TEP does go right after Travis. Look, I mean, if everything as delivered, as promised by the tape is delivered, is translated onto the field, this dude could very well be an alpha one. If Bryce Young takes a step forward and continues to ascend, he's going to look for this guy who's got all the athleticism, all the jump ball skills. When I say jump ball, I mean like literally like underneath his one leg and slam dunking like right through the goal post. TEP McMillan. Yeah, I mean he's the second. Look, I mean to me he's the second best wide receiver in the league. But we're drafting TEP McMillan because we believe he's going to get on the field immediately. We believe his role, I feel, is pretty defined, pretty set in stone. Like, yeah, you are the X wide receiver for our team. Okay, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins back to back, both teammates. Yeah, I mean, these two should be going back to back here.
Right.
You could debate whether Quinshon might get a bump ahead of Travion Henderson because again, his landing spot, Travion Henderson landed pretty decently too. Just better, he's got more competition.
Do you see clips of Drake May throwing the ball?
Yes. So I have seen that, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty damn nice, man.
So now you're going against your own short.
Well, I know, no, but it's nice. I mean, I'm not buying the hype, but you can see why there's so much hype about him catch the ball.
Yeah, no, again, we knew this coming in. We knew that he was a good pass catcher and that Quinshon Judkins wasn't necessarily the pass catcher out of the two, out of that backfield. Again, this Travion Henderson lands in a spot where we want to, like, we want to shove Ramondre Stevenson out the door. I don't think we're going to get that right away.
No.
Yeah, so it's a shitty situation in terms for fantasy purposes, not necessarily dynasty purposes, but for fantasy purposes.
Josh McDaniels might be splitting them out. Henderson might play Stevenson and then bring Henderson in, split them out, let him run the slot, let him play X or Y.
I just hope Henderson returns the value for the draft position. I really do. I just don't. I mean, it's so common to see it now, him going 5 or 6, but I don't think he should be going ahead of Quinshon, Caleb, or RJ Harvey, just off the situation alone.
See, I think he's my RB1.
But I do find it interesting. Now, again, this first round was autoed, which is the Shepherd's fault. However, it's autoed only because of where the ADPs are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
I mean, RJ at the 1.9, again, someone like a JX Fantasy or any savvy dynasty player may just like say, "Oh, to hell with that. I don't like Quinshon Judkins and the Cleveland Browns. I don't care that Kevin Stefanski says they're going to pound the ball with him. I think RJ Harvey's in a much better situation, in a much better landing spot with a much better offense.
A much better quarterback behind him.
And look, that's right. Just the whole entire what the great Pat Fitzmaurice says is the ecosystem. It's just a much better environment, without question. Their draft capital is the same. So again, you can flip flop this. I'm not shocked to see RJ Harvey at the 1.9. I'm not shocked to see Quinshon Judkins going at the 1.7. I'm a Judkins guy. Why am I a Judkins guy? Because I actually listened to Judkins, and then I watched Judkins, and then that convinced me I'm a Judkins guy. I'm also a Caleb guy who's going after RJ. This to me is the perfect spot for Caleb Johnson. Again, if someone really believes in the talent, which he has a
They're going to
tremendous
draft
talent,
him.
they're going to take him ahead of maybe Warren, the guy at the team 8, or Tyler Warren, because the settings are for tight end premium. Yeah, no, Caleb Johnson, again, there's no really right or wrong here in this particular situation. You want to get a share of this guy, JX. I want shares of Caleb. I want shares of RJ. I would love to get some shares of Travion Henderson in a dynasty.
You know what
Absolutely.
Caleb is? Caleb in dynasty drafts at his current ADP is a Baltimore Ravens-esque pick because the good teams pick in the back, they're probably going to get one of the most talented players in the back. ADP 110, Caleb Johnson could end up being the best out of everybody this season. You really don't know.
No.
But he has that kind of upside because of the situation he's in.
Perfect landing spot. Couldn't have gotten better, really. It's as if the two were meant for one another. The one scheme that the devil Artie Smith wants to run, and what Caleb Johnson is used to is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect for one another. There's vacated attempts, vacated touches from Najee. The only thing that could really throw this off a little bit, what could throw this off a little bit? If Rodgers stops chewing bark in California. That's the only thing that will really throw it off a little bit. But again, we're speaking in terms of dynasty right now, and you're not really taking Caleb Johnson now because you are in desperate need of a running back for this season.
Right.
He'll be a nice bonus for your team if he does project the way we believe he's going to. But if Aaron Rodgers does wind up in Pittsburgh, does fall in the center, I don't really see him working with Caleb Johnson. All right. Colston Loveland, tight end premium. Pick 12 is our guy, Mbuka, the best wide receiver in the class. Why is he not going earlier in the round? Because of his landing spot. But again, I believe it's we.
Yeah.
Believe that Emeka Egbuka is going to carve out enough of a role early on that it's just going to transfer and compound his usage as the season progresses.
Yeah, very much so.
That and or a combination of the attrition of their other two wide receivers. So it could very well be the fact that we can't take this talent off the field, and or there you go, Mike Evans just strained his hamstring again. Or
Egbuka is a pick you make now where you don't feel great about it, but I guarantee you in week 12 you'll feel absolutely over the moon about it.
Absolutely.
You're like, oh, I gotta pick him because this what's left. But I'm telling you, week 12 when injuries may occur or he gets more comfortable with the offense, he's going to be a real player.
Without question. Without question. Matthew Golden, I think you could kind of sort of make that same type of case. He doesn't come with the same pedigree.
No.
He doesn't come with the same pedigree. They were both drafted in the first round. So, the Packers do think that highly of him. But we're talking about a different environment. Damn near Jordan Love threw 15 picks last season. They have to get him help. And here is one way that they are going to get him help, which should, in fact, in my estimation, help the rest of the offense.
He has a really good chance of being the wide receiver one on that team too. No other receiver has actually stepped up to that spot. So it could be him.
I don't know which direction they're going in Green Bay. Because I look at the Savion Williams pick too with I look at that pick that tells me that feels like they don't have a direction in their wide receiver room. I don't know what they want to do. I mean, I hope Matthew Golden ends up being the one because I do think he's the best pure wide receiver there. But it's just like, what do y'all really want to do with all of these wide receivers that y'all have?
I think
They have about
I think
6 or 7 now.
Yeah, I think one of the things is the fact that you have Dobbs, who is one head injury away of being out, and Christian Watson, who can't stay healthy. So why not draft 2 wide receivers that can step in and fill those roles in case that does happen? That's why I think, Wicks was supposed to be the next Devontae Adams. He didn't really show anything last year. Who's Bo Melton? That doesn't scare nobody.
Jaden
Reed, yeah. So you got Jaden Reed. So it could be Jaden Reed still. And somebody came out, I don't know, coach or GM or somebody said that Jaden Reed, so he's a wide receiver 1 for now.
See, I know that LaFleur doesn't look at it that way. We do, but they don't. I think that each one of them on the field, whether it's 3 for one time or whether it's 2 wide receivers set, whatever the case, whatever the personnel is at that particular time, they all have their specific role to do, their route to run in the actual concept that LaFleur has, in his head, that Jordan Love has to then execute. So if one dude is doing this, then the other dude is doing that, this should allow this person over here to be open.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily now again, will Jaden Reed wind up having a higher amount of targets, greater amount of targets than say Matthew Golden, and then the following week it could be Savion Williams led the team with 6-7 receptions. I mean, I think that's what we're in store for with the Green Bay Packers, and I think that's the way that we all need to think of the Green Bay Packers. None of their wide receivers, again, this is early redraft, are really going that high. That is screaming to us that there is a clear-cut wide receiver 1. Yeah. Jaden Reed, like this, Jaden Reed have the talent? Yeah, I think he does, and I think he's got a good rapport with Jordan Love. But again, that doesn't. I don't think we should rule out that Matthew Golden couldn't potentially develop a rapport with Jordan Love, maybe over time. Let's not forget you got Tucker Kraft there. I mean, let's not forget they want to run the ball. It's a messy situation. I think Matthew Golden is going early in rookie drafts almost by default because of his actual draft capital and because there's a little bit of there's optimism here. Absolutely, there's definitely optimism. Christian Watson, he can't stay healthy, but when Christian Watson's on the field, he seems to be the only one that gets targeted in the red zone. Why is he the only one that gets targeted in the end zone? Why? Not because he's 6'4". Well, maybe that's because of it. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's why. Because he's the big target. Maybe that's because he's the big target for Jordan Love.
And with you saying that, I would not discount Luke Musgrave either.
Yes.
They have so many guys out there to throw the ball to.
Look at it. So that's why, again, Matthew Golden, you're going to draft with, the potential here. I don't know if I'd be that excited. I really wouldn't. If he were to have similar trajectory, similar numbers 4 or 5 years from now, then let's say someone like Devontae Smith or a Jalen Waddle or a worst case scenario like Jerry Jeudy. Wouldn't surprise me if he stays at it. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. Devontae Smith would be the actual ceiling. That's my opinion. Let's move. Rhino. Well, Jackson Dart, good, nice pick there in the early second round. Dynasty. Luther Burden, folks. Lex Luthor Burden. Again, we're drafting him with a lot of potential. potential upside. Is this man supposed to get 9-10 targets a game when all these other mouths to feed on the roster?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. And
come on, dude.
come on, man. Also, I mean, this dude may not be able to learn a full route tree. I will. That's yet to be seen. That's to be determined. Let's see what new head coach. What's his name?
Ben Johnson.
Yes, Benny Johnson. Let's see what the new head coach has to do. Let's see what he does with Luther Burden. All right, team 4.
What I can say though about him really quick is
yes, please.
More than Matthew Golden, I can see a clear path to how he plays in the future. With Matt Golden, I'm not sure because Luther Burden, he's going to take the DJ Moore situation as soon as it figures itself out. I don't know what they're going to do with DJ Moore, but Luther Bird's waiting for all those rack catches. He's waiting for all those screens. He's waiting for all those deep balls at DJ Moore. That is his role. So whenever they decide to do with that, Luther Burden's taking that spot.
Look, I'm not mad at the take. I'm not mad at it. Especially where he landed. Let's see what happens. Yeah, DJ Moore is the elder statesman out of the group. Yeah, let's see how that shakes out. Another situation, just much like Green Bay. All these guys on the field, that they're going to want to try to distribute the ball evenly. They're going to try. They just want who's the open man? I don't care. You call him whatever you want. Who's open right now? That's where I want to go. I think the same thing to be said for Luther Burden in Chicago. The smartest move would be Caleb Williams. I'd love to be able to tell you Jordan Love this season. We'll get into that. If not tomorrow, later on in the week. Quarterback upside. Please like and subscribe, Goats. Next, JX, why don't you make the pick here?
Heading premium.
Do you see the board? You see the board, right?
Yeah, let's go with let's go with Scatbo.
Scatterbrains.
Let's Scatbo.
Scatterbrains. Haven't seen much out of the New York Giants camp. Haven't seen much talk about the Cam Scatterbos and the Tyrone Tracy's. What's up there, Goat? The Goat's in the house. The Goat's getting ready for his draft. This is the rookie draft, Goat. Okay, let's go. Team 5. Team 5, we'll let Rhino make us up.
I'll let Jaden Blue right here.
Jaden Blue, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. All right, talk to us about the Jaden Blue pick.
I think he has a clear path to RB2 and could be by mid-season be RB1. Upside receiving, fast as hell.
Little early, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because, again, right now, second round, third round, you might as well just take swings.
Yeah.
These are damn near dart throws anyway. You might as well just take the swings. Now, Goat, when it comes to fantasy football and the managed redraft season, we have a little bit more of a we have more of a formula, a tried and true a system, a set of rules that we live by, where we don't just take dart throws in any given round. Here in the Dynasty rookie mock draft, in a rookie startup, you could take a dart throw in the second round. It shouldn't kill you.
Mm-mm.
It won't kill you. Okay, we'll go with speaking of dart throws, I want to get my hands on as many running backs as possible. That's what I want. I want running backs here. This fantastic class. Speaking of Beishan Tutin, Beishan, we're gonna have to come up with a name for him. Beishan Tutin. Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen today. Like, yeah, I'm paraphrasing. I've seen the reports and all the stuff with Travis Etienne. All I see is like I see him with amazing speed, wonderful agility, great agility. I see someone that's a 5-year pro. I should just get that. We should just get the freaking exact quote from this guy. Didn't I send it to you guys? I sent it to you.
Yeah, I did. With the quote on Travis Etienne or Tootin?
Regarding Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
He's done everything we've asked him to do and more. There's consistency. He can shine in ways and space. He's done a great job. I don't really understand some of the stuff I've kind of seen out there. That's absolutely inaccurate. That's him on Travis Etienne. Okay.
That means you're not trading him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's hyping him up, man, so get a better draft pick for him.
I mean, what do we know about Liam Cohen for the last couple of years?
He does like to do running back carousels. I mean, he will give it to all of them, but I mean, he gives it to all of them in a productive way. I mean, yeah, like you said, man, take as many Jags running backs as you can, because I mean, one of them could turn to Bucky Irvin, but guess what? Rachaad White's still pretty productive too, and all he's doing is catching passes. So
yeah.
Team 7. You're on the clock, JX. Team 7.
Let's go with the hope of the Las Vegas Raiders here, Jack Besh.
Jack Bauer Besh. Yeah, man, look. He was on the phone with what we believe to be is Jason Spytek. Maybe it was Pete Carroll. Just head down. I'm a dog. You got a dog. I'm a dog. Well, we're gonna find out if you're a dog.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out. We'd like to see you on the field. You know, the receiving options that we know for the Raiders right now. I mean, he's in a pretty good spot. He's got a pretty good opportunity here to not just be a complimentary wide receiver in my mind. I think he's got the opportunity to perhaps be the wide receiver target earner. Now, again, I'm not implying that all of a sudden Jacoby Myers just disappears now. No, not implying that. However, he's got the opportunity on this team. So he landed in a pretty good spot.
A great spot.
As far as I'm concerned. I don't know if it's great. It's a good opportunity in my mind. If it's great to you, it's great to you. It's a good opportunity for me. I don't know how great I think Geno is. I don't know how great he is. That's the other problem. That is a problem. Geno,
I mean, Geno, he's a great fantasy producer, like for wide receivers. He'll take wide receivers to another level. I mean, he did it with DK. He did it with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, I'm not saying Jack Besh is going to be wide receiver, 12 or anything, but I mean, I think he'll elevate Jack Besh to being reasonable every week.
I think there's room for one tight end, and I think there's room for one wide receiver. We know who the tight end is. I don't know who the wide receiver is with Geno.
It'll be Jacoby Myers to start with.
Could be both.
Okay, team.
Besh and Thornton.
They have someone else there too.
Tucker, but
I mean, he's there. I don't know.
He's there, but I think Thornton's going to beat him out for wide receiver 3. All right.
Team 9.
It's funny, you're not hearing that much about Higgins right now, but you're hearing all kinds of stuff about Noel.
Well, are you now? Are you?
Yeah.
I just love that dude, man. I really do. He's so explosive. He's gonna be a serious problem this year.
Yeah, I've seen lots of footage of him lately. Nothing, and they're not saying anything about Higgins. It's all Noel. And how quick he is. And how explosive he is.
Yeah.
And Houston has the best receiving room in NFL with blah, 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 blah. Okay. But I can see it, though. You see it.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, in my rookie draft, I've taken Noel before Higgins many times.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, it's nothing about situation. You can see the path where he can take targets. He is filling in for Tank Dell.
The thing that made me scratch my head when they drafted Higgins is the simple fact that it's damn near almost the same wide receiver as Collins.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they wanted to do that. You know, I don't think it was an accident. Like, oh yeah, let's get another 6'4", straight up X wide receiver that can run all the routes, and then we'll get this little speedster inside that will be behind Christian Kirk to start. Okay, the Husso. Saquon Barkley's doing leaps, his reverse leap for the Madden cover. Saquon Barkley was cursed whether they gave him that cover or not. Unfortunately.
The double whammy, the 370 and now this.
So I mean, like, if you kind of believe in that kind of like fantasy voodoo,
a little bit.
So like this, just giving him the cover solidifies why he's not going to repeat.
But even if he, because we talked about this in one of the shows earlier, even if he regresses, he'll still probably be a top 5 freaking running back. Now if he gets hurt, that's a different story. We can't, but he's not going into training camp hurt like CMC was last year.
Yeah.
It's my guy.
There he is. There he goes.
I'm trying to get him as much as I possibly can.
In Dynasty?
Yeah, I completely whipped on
best
that.
ball too. Yeah.
I would have definitely took him before Best. I ain't gonna lie to you. I totally forgot about Trey Harris.
I would probably take him over Golden too.
Yeah.
And someone else that's picking up some nice steam of recent.
He seems that pretty. Oh, Kyle Williams, yeah.
Stephon Diggs, 31 years old. Excuse me. Coming off of a torn ACL, partying with Cardi B. How much could Stephon Diggs really withstand this upcoming
season? Who was partying with? With Cardi B?
Cardi B. Yeah. You don't know your Cardi B? You're not up on your Cardi B?
He can come to my front door and I would not know who in the hell she is.
Once she gets to your front door, she's gonna let you know who she is, though.
Probably. I'll still be like, who? I'll be like, what?
JX, that's gotta be a clip.
Get off my lawn.
That if nothing else from this botched session, Rhino and Cardi B. In any event, Stephon Diggs was like shot out of a cannon last season on a new team, another new team, the Texans. That's his third team. Now he's on his fourth team at 31 years old. So we can't necessarily say that Stephon Diggs isn't like a pro. I mean, he's a diva, but he's made it to 31. He's pretty good at what he does when he does it. this is another option. This should be a Drake May second option, or maybe a third option along with their tight end, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's Pop. Maybe it's Jalen Pope. Maybe it's Javon Bay. I don't know. All I know is that they need another weapon besides Stephon Diggs, and it very well could be Kyle Williams. And better news for the dynasty savvy players is you drafted Kyle Williams again, not to necessarily start right away, not to anchor your wide receiver room. He could very well be the future wide receiver one on that team.
Demario Douglas is going to lose more targets because of Williams.
Do I think Pop Douglas gets more targets or less targets?
Less targets because of Williams.
I don't
think Williams sneaks into.
I don't know. I don't think so, because we've seen flashes of Pop Douglas. Mm-hmm. He flashes pretty good. It's not consistent.
No.
It's almost like he doesn't play 100%. But you do see some flashes of like a dude that's talented. I don't know. It's a good question.
I think it depends on how they use Stephon Diggs, because Stephon Diggs was used in the slot quite a bit when he was the Houston Texans. I mean, because he is just naturally regressing. He's not as fast. You can't run past people quite as well. And used to use him in the slot quite a bit last year. And I wonder, if that was the plan for him in New England too. So it kind of depends on how they decide to use all those wide receivers.
Yeah, it's one of those rooms again. What does Josh McDaniels do? Well, what's his track record when it comes to wide receivers? They uber target the one that's standing out, right? I mean, it's Team 11, Rhino. Go ahead, let's make the pick.
Do Noel.
Set. Jalen Noel, ladies and gentlemen. Team 12. How about this? Looks like a nice spot. For a quarterback swing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jalen Milroe. Could very well be the next Lamar Jackson, or may never live up to that comparison. But the one thing that we do know is he's working hard. I don't think Sam Darnold is like a freaking surefire lock to play the entire season. I don't. If this team wants to be so freaking run heavy, well, we know that Jalen Milroe brings to the table absolute wheels. If Jalen Milroe plays a full season, I think he'll be RB 4, RB 5.
RB 4.
I do. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Hi, Sniper. How are you, Sniper? Doing a little Dynasty rookie mock draft. 4 rounds.
I love when people tell you that'll never happen. That'll never happen. How do people know that's not going to happen? It drives me nuts.
What are you talking about?
When I was in a conversation and.
What are you talking about? That'll never happen.
All right, I'm going Mason Taylor right here.
Great pick. I love Mason Taylor. I was like, why is he going so late? Yeah, great, especially with tight end premium. Yeah, this is a great pick. I think he's the dark horse to finish top 12 tight ends this year.
Tight end premium, Sniper's favorite. If you're not in the mood to spend up on Colston Loveland, if you're not in the mood to spend up on Tyler Warren, because that quarterback situation is scary right now. I'm not saying that Mason Taylor's quarterback situation isn't a little tricky. It is, but at least it's a little bit more it's safer, I would say, than what we're staring at with with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Yeah, if you don't want to spend up, you could wait a couple of rounds. Wait a round or two in Dynasty and go grab Mason Taylor or even Elijah Arroyo. Wait even further. Absolutely.
Terrence Ferguson.
That's the other one. I knew I was missing one. Sniper's not tired. Sniper, you can never be tired of winning. No one gets tired of winning. So speaking of Terrence Ferguson, let's do it, baby.
Yeah, I was about to say I'll be the next pick.
Let's do it.
I really like him.
I do.
There are a lot of good things. Especially when you're hearing that Tyler Higbee is coaching him up, helping coach him up too. That's pretty cool. You know, I kind of expect that from Higbee. They're thinking that he could take over Higbee's spot midway through the season.
It's surprising to me how much I have heard about him. Like I didn't expect anything this early, but yeah, I mean he's showing up, you know, right now. So yeah, man, I'll tell you what. Like I said, I wasn't the highest initially, but I gotta just remember who my GM and who my head coach is. It doesn't matter if they pick a Labradoodle in the second round. It's going to be Air Bud. It doesn't matter.
A Labradoodle.
So team 3 didn't pick?
Oh, so that's where the little screwy is. Team 3 is going to pick
Air Bud.
Now this guy over here, do a little.
Harold Fannin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a tight end 2 on that team. I mean, so is Elijah Arroyo. I get that, but Elijah Arroyo could easily be a tight end 1 on that team.
Mm-hmm.
But Harold Fannin is not only tight end 2 in Cleveland, but he's utility 1. He's utility 1.
I like that. I like that. Utility 1.
He's utility 1. He's gonna play fullback, tight end, probably some slot too.
Team 7. Rhino. Team 7. Who do you like here? Who do you like and why?
I like Devin Neal.
Devin Neal it is.
I think he'll be RB2. He might push.
Might be RB1.
He might. As I was going to say, he could end up being RB1.
Again, he didn't get good capital. Okay, they don't all get good capital. Maybe if we could squeeze a season or 2 out of this guy, or he turns into a stud. He landed in a good spot, I would say, a pretty good spot. Pretty good spot he landed in. Alvin Kamara's on his way out. Devin Neal could very much just.
Miller can't stay healthy. He gets hurt.
Kendrick Miller is the other wild card, though. He is the other wild card. I don't know. Let's not just throw that narrative out there. Dennis Allen said he was injured. Did Kendrick Miller ever say he was injured?
No.
Yeah. Dennis Allen
just didn't. He did get injured. Then he pulled his hammy.
Dennis Allen just did not like that guy.
He did not.
This will be a good opportunity for Kendrick Miller as well. Now you want to talk about some dark sleeper right there. Kendrick Miller, dark sleeper. He'll probably wind up starting off on waivers unless you're gonna take the late round flyer on him. But Kendrick Miller's not available in this draft. Elijah Arroyo is though. Give us somebody, Jax. Give us somebody over here.
Yeah, I'm absolutely happy right here. I'm laughing at you, and I'm taking Harold Fannin. So
It's Harold Fannin time.
I'm like, I can't believe he took Elijah Roy when you could have Harold
Yeah,
Fannin.
what a dumbass, right? He's saying, what a dumbass. In
Harold,
the comments, in the group comments chat, what are you thinking? Thank you.
how you like that pick?
I,
Williams and then Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is a very crowded wide receiver room, but I kind of feel like it's kind of up for grabs. I do. If this dude Pat Bryant could like impress his head coach or his wide receiver coaches, I mean, it might be a little bit difficult for Sean Payton to just leave him on the sideline. We know that he wants to rotate wide receivers, or at least he rotated wide receivers last season. But and that might have been because he didn't like what he had. Maybe it becomes a little bit more consistent where he's got Mims out there, he's got Pat Bryant out there, and in a perfect world, he's got Veal out there. Sutton's not out there.
I mean, this pick was always fascinating to me. And it's the reason why I have to believe in Pat Bryant, right? Like he got drafted high, so Sean Payton reached for him. He reached for him like he got drafted before anybody thought he would go. He got drafted
for Royals, and we thought every Royals would go for him.
Right.
He got drafted so like I said, you have to believe in the Pat Bryant selection, and in the third, the 310. I mean, that's a great shot at Pat Bryant.
So even where Pat Bryant was even selected, that was still considered a reach. Like no one had this dude on their bingo card.
No, not at all.
I think this is a very interesting dude right here for this Broncos team. That could very well be catching balls from the MVP of the 2025 season, Mr. Bo Callahan, JX Fantasy.
JX guy, right? That's his guy.
Teaser. We got to get in. We're going to get into the quarterbacks later on this week. That's what I want to do. I think it's what we should do. It's what the GOATs want us to do, is talk about quarterback upside. All right, let's finish this puppy off. Not the puppy, but doesn't want like a dead dog. Set the player to Jalen Royals and Team 12. Team 12. What does Team 12 want to do? Why don't you? Who's making this pick?
Go ahead, Jax.
Let's go with Ollie Gordon, Miami Dolphins running back.
He's gonna get a run. He's gonna get a run.
Yes.
I gotta go with my guy.
Go ahead, make the pick.
I gotta go with my guy.
Woody, still
that's your guy.
I love Woody Marks, dude.
Man.
I'm gonna get the Woody overlay. We will definitely have a Woody overlay for the season.
I love Woody Marks.
It's like we keep forgetting about this dude, Woody Marks.
He led college football running backs in receptions, 241 receptions. He didn't get much play at running back at USC the first year because he was behind Lloyd. Last year, he was RB1, and he's deceiving. Go back and watch some of his runs. Runs with power, runs angry. I love me some Woody Marks, man.
Woody, don't flag us, Tube. We love Woody.
When you said my guy, that's what I thought you were going to go with right there.
Jarquez. That's right.
Surprise.
Rhino speaking on Jarquez.
I'm just a big fan of running back rooms if you have things that are if you have things that are exactly the same, like the Dolphins have Jalen Wright and Devin Achane. They are both blazers, super fast. and then they bring this contrast in Ollie Gordon. Oh, I want Ollie Gordon then. I want Ollie Gordon. So look at the Rams. They have the exact same player in Kyron and Blake. And
Yeah.
the contrast in Jarquez Hunter. I want all the Jarquez Hunter I can get.
I like Hunter too, but I think William Marston can get more volume. I think he'll be RB2, and he could end up being RB1 by the end of the season.
Savion. That's what I should have picked. Like Savion. And he's just gonna be one of these players. He might be that Christian Watson guy. He's big. He's a utility.
Nope, utility.
He's a utility. It's gonna be hard to take a utility off the field. Restrepo, undrafted, free.
In these rounds right here, would you take a flyer on Will Howard?
Why not?
Yeah, I would.
Yes. Again, I would say all these dudes, except for like the first 6 or 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't take a flyer on Dylan Gabriel at all.
Because you know what winds up happening, right? In 2 years, these guys are on waivers or free agency in your dynasty league.
Yeah.
And your quarterback gets hurt, and then the other quarterback that you have starts to suck, and then another dude gets injured, and now you're scrambling on the waiver wire, and who's there? Oh, okay. Might as well you pick these guys up. You know, they're not starting right now, but you never know. You never know. Set player. That's what I was getting. I was looking for Will Howard. What happened? Is Joe? I drafted him already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That's why. That's why he's not around. Team 10.
Okay.
Team 10.
Dante Thornton's a good pick. He's a good dart throw.
Where is he?
He's wide receiver. Right there.
You guys make the last 2 picks.
Just under 6'5", 235 pounds, runs a 4.4.
4.3.
4.3.
4.33. Blazing. Is Tesla going yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Tesla go. Okay.
I took Tesla in the 4.5. Isaac Tesla.
The Chique Dime. Did I say that right?
I don't know. Tajay Brooks. How about Tajay Brooks?
That's a good pick too.
Where's Brashard Smith at?
Brashard Smith. Right here. 4.7.
Oh, okay. He's up at 30. We were at the very slim pick.
Yeah. We're at the bare bones. we're at the dart throws that aren't sharp.
And even like Jordan James would be a bad pick right here either.
These are the dart throws that are plastic darts. That they just wind up bouncing right back at you.
You know what? I got it. Take Kyle McCord, quarterback the Eagles. Take him.
Could you imagine? Imagine that. Just imagine. If this dude has to play, it's a problem. All right, Rhino. Who do we got here? Last pick.
We will do wide receiver. We'll do Chicken Dime. Chimeri.
Very good. All right. Good stuff, guys. All right. Well, that's going to conclude our rookie mock draft. We will be back. I believe we will be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We will be back again later on in the week, I believe on Thursday, if not Friday. Look out for all of our content. Like the video, subscribe. If you're inclined to, turn on the notification bell. I don't blame you if you don't, but that sometimes helps people. And that's it. You guys want to leave us with anything you got? Say hello. Say
See you
goodbye.
guys tomorrow. Have a good week. Be a difference, make a difference.
Go Pacers.
It's terrible. That's brutal.
Way to leave on a high note, JX.
Thank you, kind sir. Thank you, kind sir.
Right.